I just got done working. I'm going to show you my grocery shopping tonight. I usually go to the grocery store twice a week, sometimes once. It's expensive dieting, actually. It's one of the things about dieting. I mean, the chicken, the beef, the vegetables, it adds up. Probably spend about $125 a week on groceries. So we're going to go grocery shopping tonight. I'm going to try to show you everything that I buy. Even if I don't need it tonight, I'm still going to show it to you, and hopefully it'll help you out. We're here at the Giant in Chestertown. It's open 24 hours. It's a great place to shop. I can come here late, and it works for me. So let's go in and get shopping. All right, we're going to start off. We're in the banana aisle and the potato aisle. I'm going to buy some bananas. I eat one banana after every workout. I used to cut bananas out pre-contest just because of what people say. I was getting paranoid, to be honest with you. Now that I'm experimenting with my diet and I'm doing pretty much everything the same but leaving some of the carbohydrates in that I would normally substitute, I don't see any difference. If anything, it's the best I've ever looked for 240 pounds. So I'm still eating the bananas. If I was doing a show, I'd probably still eat them. But if you're not getting ready for a show, you could eat 2 bananas a day. It ain't gonna kill you. People sometimes have hard times with starches. If you have a hard time with starches, bananas might be a carb you want to stay away from, but they're really good. They're in really high potassium too, so after you get out of a workout. So pick up, fortunately you can only pick up 5. I like my bananas green and yellow. By the time I eat those, they'll be brown. So if I get too many, I'm over here in the potato aisle. Best potatoes to get for diet are yams and sweet potatoes with the lowest glycemic index. That means they will not store as fat as easy. But when you're dieting, working out, you're dieting all week long, it's hard to store things as fat. Actually, sometimes you need fat. I did yams for years. I'm tired of yams. White potatoes I don't do. So they're probably the worst for you out of the 3. I do the red potatoes. I buy them by the bag. And basically, I'll have 2 red potatoes when I go home from work. And 2 of these is about 50 carbs. And I put them in the microwave for about 9 minutes. Slice them open. Put on some fat-free butter spray. Can't believe it's not butter. And then I also put a little bit of seasoning on. It's called, I think, Salad Supreme. Or you can put a little squirt of ketchup. That ain't gonna hurt either. So that's 2 of my carbs that I eat during the day. There's 4 major carbs I get and 2 fibrous carbs. So let's keep shopping. All right, I made a quick stop here in the shrimp and imitation crab meat aisle. There's clams here, there's scallops. These are all things you can eat. Tonight I'm not buying any though, but sometimes when I get bored of chicken and beef, I'll have shrimp or scallops. They have them frozen in the bag you can get. Also, pretty much any kind of fish is pretty good. Tilapia, pollock. If you do salmon, that's fine too. Just don't eat too much of it. It's a little bit fattening in a good way. But if you ate tons of it all day, the fat content would eventually add up. So we're gonna go over and buy our chicken and our lean beef. All right, here we're gonna be buying chicken. I use chicken breast pretty much throughout the day. I'm gonna be buying the multi-packs and put them in the freezer, and then take them out when I need them. They're on sale today, now you can't beat that. I'll eat about, I'd say, 2 chicken breasts at least 3 times a day. My first meal, the first 2 meals don't include any chicken, but my first meal at work does, my second meal at work does, and when I get home I have a little chicken. So I get a lot of chicken. Say people are 70% water, so I think I'm actually 70% chicken. Alright, we'll do 4 packs today. Alright, just walk right over here to the beef file. And we're gonna, I like to eat like 2 lean beef patties a day. What I usually do is I get the leanest one I can find. Either like 90%, 95, somewhere from 90 up. If they don't have the pre-packaged like this, I'll get the ground beef and I'll make them myself. Now on my chicken, I pretty much just use Frank's hot sauce. That's all I really put on there. For my lean beef, I use Smart Beet cheese. It's not really even the cheese, it's like the soy. We'll get to that aisle and see exactly what it's made out of, but it's fat-free, pretty much carb-free. I cut it, slice in half, save half for one piece, and then later when I get another piece, I put that piece on there. I always put a little squirt of ketchup too. This ketchup's not gonna kill you if you're worried about the salt or sugar. There's like low sodium ketchup, low sugar ketchup. So a lot of people like overdo it. I think your body, if you overdo it, you start, I think the body starts going into a negative look. We got a ton of oatmeal. I used to always eat the regular, plain, disgusting, nasty oatmeal with Splenda. I can no longer do that. I think I mentioned before, I got sick off it, carving up for a show. And now I just cannot do it. So I've switched over to different kinds. I do the take hard, sometimes I do a low sugar, weight control, or even the caution. Pretty much they're all similar. I mean, you do have 6 grams of sugar. We got 1 here, and we got 7 here. That is not going to do nothing for you, especially when you eat it for breakfast. Sugar sometimes is important in a diet. You can't cut all sugar out, and sometimes you want to cut some people cut the sugar out before a show pretty low, but I mean, my sugar is low to begin with. I really don't have any sugar in chicken or beef or any of my other vegetables, so any of these are fine. Pretty much I go with the taste. I like blueberries, I like apples, so those 2 work. I don't use the regular one though. That is a little bit too high in sugar for me, for what I like, and I wouldn't recommend either unless you're not getting ready for a show. That is better than having bacon, sausage, eggs, and all that stuff for breakfast. So that's what I do for that. Now the oatmeal I will have for breakfast every morning, 2 packets, 50 carbs, and my protein will be egg whites in the morning, or it could be a protein shake. We're here at the tuna fish aisle. I really don't eat much tuna fish. I don't like fishy fish that much. I used to eat a lot of fish that had mercury high like tuna does, and I actually almost got, I think it was mercury poisoning. I was really sick. That's what they thought it was. I mean, I was eating like 30 times the amount that you're supposed to eat. That's, you know, somebody who's eating a can of tuna a day is fine, but I was eating tons and tons of this. Tuna is a great way of getting protein. A lot of girls, it's easy for them to put in their salads. I would get the one with the water, not the oil. And they have a lot of the individual pack ones you can take to work. So just wanted to show you that. We're gonna move down here. I'm gonna show you a couple other things actually. Pickles. Pickles. You come home, you're starving to death. Eat a pickle. It's just high sodium. Right now, I ain't worried about sodium. It kind of actually gives you a taste of just like salt is something your body craves. It actually tastes really good when you're dieting. So I usually have a pickle a day. Sometimes I forget. The other thing I do a lot is I'll have these olives here. Menzola, I think I'm pronouncing that right. But I'll have like 2 or 3 of these olives. That's 2 grams of fat, 1 carb, for 4 olives. These are little things you can do in between. It gives your brain, you know, a mental stimulation of you got something to eat. Sometimes I'll eat a Tic Tac and I don't feel as hungry. It's weird. I mean, it's amazing what your mind can believe. Vinegar is something you can use on your salads, no problem. A tablespoon of oil is not going to hurt. I like the extra virgin oil. That's really good. A tablespoon, that's like 14 grams of good fat. And I've learned from living off and on in Greece that the olive oil never has ever affected me in a negative way. I had tons of olive oil in Greece, and I actually had abs for the first time in my life because I wasn't eating the bad foods. In Europe, they don't have the fast foods as much as we do now. Well, they're starting to get them, but not as much as we have here. The meals are usually, you know, organic meals, things that come out of the ground the way they look, and that's how they eat them. There's no hormones in the food. So I learned that every time I go to Greece. It's amazing. I always come back and I don't gain any fat. So mustard is something I don't like, but you can use it. A lot of people like it on their chicken. Again, here's the hot sauce, which are all great. Bring down ketchup. I use a tiny squirt on my food, maybe 2-3 times a day. And as far as salad, right now I'm not eating any salads, but a lot of times I do eat a salad a day. I would use the light 7 C's red wine and vinegar dressing. It's great, tastes good. It's not really too bad for you. So sometimes I even put bacon bits and croutons on. It's like 6 carbs. I mean, you walk from the living room to the dining room, you burned it already. Especially when you have a ton of muscle. Just now talking to you guys, I burned 100 calories. We're in the rice aisle. A lot of people are fixated on eating just brown rice. It's lower glycemic. I can't stand brown rice. I did it. I didn't like it. I'm eating now the white rice. I get the minute rice. I put it in the microwave for a couple minutes. It's done. I get the premium. It's like a mix of white. It's like a higher quality of white rice. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen a difference at all from switching to this to the brown rice as far as not being able to lose weight or gaining weight. So definitely with the rice. I have a lot of rice at home actually, so I'm not gonna get this right now. I have like 2-3 boxes. I accidentally buy stuff every time I come here. As far as vegetables, now I do eat asparagus every day and I eat broccoli, sometimes twice a day, most of the time once a day. I use it towards the night because I usually don't eat carbs after about 9 p.m. So I use that to fill in, kind of give me something like I feel like I'm eating something. Asparagus, I eat it in 3 different ways. Fresh asparagus, where we passed in the aisles with the bananas. That to me is too time consuming. It tastes great, but it's time consuming. Then there's the canned, which isn't bad, but it's really soft. And then there's the other option, which I've been doing now, is the frozen, which once you microwave it, it's great. I put fat-free butter spray on it, or butter buds, which is like a seasoning, a butter seasoning. That's fat-free too. And then I put hot sauce. I put hot sauce in everything. I mean, so that's the one vegetable here. Broccoli, fresh, again, for me, is too time consuming. So what I'll do is I'll get it in the frozen aisle. And as far as my chicken and my beef, everything, I cook everything the same day. If you can't do that and you want to take a Sunday like some people do, cook all your food in the grill, put it in Tupperware containers, keep it in the fridge. When you're on the go, you know, portion it all out. That's great too. But for me, I like my food cooked the same day. I just can't do that. I mean, if I had to cook it in the morning, 6 chicken breasts, that's different, as long as it's used in that same day. That's why I do a lot of microwaving, because it's just quick. And I'm on the road a lot with cutting lawns. And so I just pack everything. I even have a little cooler in my car. You plug it in, it keeps food cold, it keeps food hot. It's great. It's like $35. So, one thing that I can tell you is that I don't eat as much right now, but I listened to an old trainer of mine, was peas and corn. And I always thought corn was bad for you, but I used peas and corn for my carbs for months. And actually, it was probably one of the best times I ever looked for a show. It's when I won the Atlantic States in 2005. I won my weight class at the Beth Francis show. And I was eating corn and peas up to 2 weeks out. Amazing. And actually it wasn't bad. Mixing it together with some hot sauce was great. So that's another vegetable you can do. The other vegetables I really don't know too much about. I mean, I think green beans are okay, and peas and stuff like that, but I really don't get it. I mean, the peas are great, but I mean, the green beans, I don't really get into them. So we can actually look while we're here, because I know a lot of people eat them. Let's see, green beans. Here we go. Green beans. Yeah, it looks like another good low carbohydrate food. 4 grams, which is fibrous carbs, only 2 grams of sugar. So green beans would be good too. I know a lot of people eat them. I just don't. So let's move on. We're passing the pasta aisle right now. I don't eat any pasta when I'm dieting. I know wheat is better than regular. If you're not getting ready for a show, it ain't gonna kill you. I just never really used it. I feel like I'm cheating when I eat it. And a lot of people just gain weight from pasta. So one thing I don't definitely not eat is I don't eat. I have 4 carbs a day. I eat oatmeal, bananas, rice, and red potatoes, and then my broccoli and asparagus. My protein only comes from beef, chicken, and shakes. And sometimes fish, scallops, and that's about it. So let's move on now. Frozen vegetable aisle. And actually I do need some broccoli and asparagus. So let's see. Believe it or not, sometimes it's better to spend a little more money and get a better tasting broccoli and asparagus. They don't all taste the same. I mean, you would think they would. Alright, we found the asparagus. And grab a full bag of this. Actually, grab one more bag of broccoli. Now, I'll basically eat this whole bag in one sitting. It is 16 ounces, and I'll eat about an 8-ounce bag of asparagus in one sitting. 2 packets of oatmeal at one shot, about 50 carbs. And the chicken breast. They usually, 2 big ones like that have about 60 grams of protein. I usually get about 60 grams of protein 5 to 7 times a day, and I usually eat about 50 carbs 5 times a day right now. I'm eating 350 carbs a day. That's not including like the fibrous carbs with the broccoli and asparagus, not including a couple carbs are in my shakes. And then, so basically it's 350 carbs from food and a carbohydrate drink after the gym, which has about 50 carbs. So that's why after 9 o'clock I have like 2 more meals before I go to bed, and I have to eat vegetables. My protein levels, I believe, are, I'd say 60 times, between 300 to 400 grams of protein a day, give or take. I've already gone for like ridiculous amounts of protein when I was getting ready for the show, 600 grams a day, thinking that it would spare muscle. It didn't spare muscle. I think if anything, people say, oh well, protein's just gonna pee it out. Don't worry about it. But I think it's calories. I think after that many, you're actually gonna have to burn more calories. That's my opinion. So I don't think you want to go crazy. I mean, I know some of the top bodybuilders in the world that were like 280 pounds. The first guys that ever hit that much before, like I think it was like Nasser, from what I believe, from what I read, he only had 300 grams of protein a day. So I think it's overkill. You know, I mean, we're known to everything in life. We're always known to want to do more is better. It's not true. So let's move on and get some egg whites. It's another protein that I forgot to mention that I use when I was telling you about the fourth of the proteins that I use. All right, we're in the egg aisle. I like to use the egg beaters. I'll drink about 32 ounces, about 16 ounces every morning with breakfast. So these three will last me 6 days. If you don't like the egg beaters, you can do the pure egg whites. I was doing that for a long time, but now I got kind of tired of the taste of the egg whites. Egg beaters have a little more taste to them. They're not as natural, but you're talking about a tiny little bit of things that are in them. It's not going to affect you. The butter spray is right here that I use on most of my vegetables. Potatoes, broccoli, asparagus, can't believe it's not butter. The olive oil, or however you pronounce it, is also great. It's like a mixture with olive oil. That's 0, 0, 0, 0 on everything. As far as my drinks, I usually get the diet green tea. Crystal Light also great, but I got tired of the Crystal Light flavor after years of doing it, and diet green tea seems to be good. Plus, I think it helps speed up your metabolism. All right, we're in the cheese aisle. The one cheese I just recently learned about is a Smart Beet. It's made out of a casein milk-derived protein. A little bit of corn syrup in it. But it has 3 carbs, 2 grams of sugar. I mean, you can eat this up into the show. I mean, everything has like artificial things in it, but it's like I said, trivial. You're gonna walk it off in 2 minutes. So that's what I use actually for my eggs and my lean beef cheese that I use. You can even put it on your vegetables. It's great, tastes pretty decent. You gotta remember, when you're dieting, you're trying to look good. You're eating more for survival. You're eating more for the way you look. You're not really eating to enjoy your food. But as you become accustomed to dieting, you'd be shocked how a piece of chicken and broccoli, when you're hungry after a workout, tastes delicious. It'd be like being locked away in a prison and all they gave you every day was a piece of bread. When you're hungry, that bread will taste amazing. This is my diet pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I do the same thing, except for the only difference is I cut out one of the meals and I go to a fast food place of my choice. Pizza, steaks, whatever. I always have dessert, preferably chocolate and ice cream. That's one time I did it on Saturday, one time I did it on Sunday. Now in the off season, I was eating 600 carbs a day coming from these kind of carbohydrates. And I was also cheating an extra meal on Fridays. Didn't look bad. I'd actually dropped away from cheating every day for the whole winter, coming down from 265. I got down to 250. Actually looked decent. But then I decided that I wanted to put myself in an environment more like a show, which I'm doing now. It's exactly what I would be doing if I was doing the show. The only difference is that the 2 cheat meals would be gone on the weekend. And I dropped down to about 240 now, and seen a huge difference. I just keep waiting every week to see what the difference is. When will the difference stop? That's when I'll have to decide to either cut the carbs back, do more cardio, or take a look at myself and say, hey, I'm pretty much show ready if I just drop my water and change a couple things. So as far as bagels and yogurt, we're close to those aisles. If you're not going to do a show, a bagel a day, I don't think it's going to kill you. A little bit of low-fat cream cheese and yogurt is another good thing. It's not that bad for you. And also cottage cheese, the low-fat cottage cheese we have right here in front of me. Great source of protein, tastes great. I don't really do too much cottage cheese or milk at all. I'm not really a milk drinker, cottage cheese drinker. So those are suggestions for people that maybe are watching this like hardcore bodybuilders or just want different variations of stuff. Okay, we're here in the aisle that I usually have to close my eyes for. It's the sweet aisle. This is the kind of stuff that I get to only eat twice a week. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow I'm starving right now. Tomorrow I'm really hungry. I'll be 5 days of working out hard and doing cardio 3 times a week. And cutting lawns tomorrow is my lawn day. I'll be out cutting grass, getting to eat, so I look forward to Saturday and Sunday. It's funny because during the week, I think of all these things I want to eat, and then when I get to the place where I want to go, I'm like, what do I eat? But anyway, a good starting point for anybody watching this is to lose weight, I would say, is eat every 2 hours, at least 5 to 7 meals a day, and carbohydrates, start out with around 300. If you're, if you got body fat to lose, start there. Give it like 4 weeks, see how you're doing. If you have a hard time with 300, do what I did, do 500 to 600 I did it for about 6 weeks. Clean carbs though, like the ones we're showing here. Clean just means not high glycemic, not bad carbs. Like eating bread. I mean, you can eat 100 carbs in bread, and you get 100 carbs in bananas. It's a totally different ballgame. Start from there, and then every couple of weeks, lower them. And you get to a point where you figure out where you look your best at. If you're a girl, I always start girls out with around 100, depending on how the girl looks, but around 100 carbs, and that's like my starting point. I either have to increase it or decrease it a little bit. And the same thing with girls with protein. Girls, I think if a girl weighs 100 pounds, she should be eating about 100 grams of protein if she's trying to be figure fitness or bodybuilder. And if she weighs more, then she should eat about a gram per pound. What's about it today? I mean, there's a lot of other things that I can get into eating for somebody who is not competing and still eat to look great. As you do get leaner, you can sometimes cheat a little more if you're not competing. Or you can have a cheat meal, an extra cheat meal. Let's say somebody's birthday, you want to have a cheat meal on Tuesday. Sometimes it's really hard for me mentally to do that because it just screws up my mind. But if you do it, take out the Saturday meal, or just do extra cardio that next day. I've already gone to a party and had a cheat meal I wasn't supposed to, and I left that place and went right to a gym and did an hour of cardio. So our bodybuilders have different brain cells, I think, than most people. I won't even eat like a piece of, right now, if somebody offered me an M&M, I wouldn't eat it, not even one. And I'm not even doing a show for a year. I just, in my mind, I'm disciplined enough, regimented enough that I want to pretend I'm doing a show, and I have photos shoot coming up after this video, and I still want to get leaner, and I want to drop down to almost where I would be competing, I think, this year. I mean, next year will be about 220, 225, hoping, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because if I was to do a show 4 weeks from now, I would probably mentally go nuts. I would do cardio 7 days a week, I would take all kinds of fat burners, and next thing you know, I would look just like I do now, same body fat, 20 pounds lighter. It's the biggest mistake we all make. So instead of coming down from 270 to show class ready, I'm going to, this year, try to stay 15, 20 pounds above my weight class. That way I don't lose the muscle. So, but it's a year is a long way to go. So November, December, January, a lot of holidays. Might slack for 3 months, gain maybe 15, 20 pounds. But you know what, when you do this for a living, it's really easy to just go back and forth. I get up in the morning, my first meal, basically what I do is I have a banana, it's about 50 carbs, and then I take oatmeal. I have all different kinds of oatmeals. I use the low sugar usually. You can do plain with the Splenda. And I have 2 packets of oatmeal. Put them in a bowl with some water, microwave them for 2.5 minutes. Perfect. Can't beat that. And then for my protein, I will usually make egg beaters or egg whites. It's a lot easier than breaking the shells open. Put them right on the stove. It takes like 5 minutes. And then what I'll do is to make them taste better, I'll use the Smart Beet cheese, throw in a squirt of ketchup. And that's my first meal. And then I usually go to work. Now at work, I'll take another banana with me and another 2 packets of oatmeal. And I'll take a protein shake with me. It's kind of really easy. I work 2 shifts. I work a 3-hour shift and I leave and I come back for 5 hours. So for that 3-hour shift, that's what I eat there. And then my third meal is probably about an hour before I work out. I'll make chicken, which I buy like in a multi-pack, and lean beef, which I buy usually already prepared instead of having to mush it together with your hands. And I'll put it on the George Foreman grill, which is right here. This, if you don't have a George Foreman grill, you're not a bodybuilder, because this is like the best invention since, I don't know what invention, but it's amazing. It takes 5 minutes to make my food on there. I will put usually hot sauce on my chicken, a squirt of ketchup, and a half a slice of Smart Beet cheese on my burgers. That's even when I'm dieting. If I wasn't dieting, I would probably use regular beef and regular cheese. I drink green tea like it's going out of style all day long. I drink about 2 of these a day. They come, some stores don't have them, but I like to diet because the carbs are 0. And then as far as my carbs, before I go to the gym, I usually have about half a cup of rice. Now some people like to eat brown rice. I don't have a problem eating white rice. It doesn't really make any difference to my physique. I'm still as lean, or still as, I lose the same weight when I'm dieting. I usually use the minute rice, the premium rice. It tastes a little bit better than the regular white rice. I put about a half a cup, or I'd say about a cup. Before I go to the gym, I have a half a cup before I go to the gym, which is 50 carbs. In the microwave for 6 minutes. I'll put on the fat-free butter spray, and I'll put hot sauce on my rice, and I'm good to go. And then in the car, so at this point now I've had 150 carbs a day at this point. So then in the car I have another 50 carbs. So how I get that is I drink this Vitargo, which is a fast-acting carbohydrate. It has no sugar. It's an amazing product. And then I'll throw in some creatine in my Vitargo, some glutamine, and then I drink that like on the way to the gym. When I get out of the gym, I'll immediately have a whey protein shake, something quick, absorbing, and I'll take creatine again. I like to use the Bill Grant creatine for after the gym because he's got a good amount of protein in there. The maltodextrin, I hope I'm saying that right, which is the sugars that are good for you after you work out. And then I'll take Vitargo again. I like to have two different kinds of fast-acting carbs and slow-acting carbs. I'll take some BCAAs, take about 4 of these. Alpha-lipoic acid helps burn sugar. It's also a great antioxidant. And every morning I do have like some kind of I do the fat burners, but right now I'm doing the pure green tea extract just for a little bit of energy. But that's what I drink in the car. Then when I get home, now I've already had my protein. I'll have some kind of other carb, maybe 50 grams from rice again, which is a half a cup of rice. I also, during the day, depending on what mood I'm in, sometimes I even do it for breakfast, I'll have about 30 almonds, which is about an ounce, 2 tablespoons. I noticed that my fat was too low on my diet and I started to get flat looking, and I've actually increased my fat now with the advice of a good friend of mine from Australia. She's my IFBB figure pro. Her name's Arena Monte. Oh, I'm not pronouncing that right. She's gonna kill me, she had me increase my fat. I'm noticing a difference. I noticed I'm fuller. So a lot of people are afraid to do that. Another good product here is that I use is Pro Source's. It's like a natural GH release before I go to bed. A lot of times I go on this for like a month. It seems to really help. So then I go to work. Now when I go to work, and this is the part where people always say, well, I have to work, do this, it's hard to make my meals. Basically, Tupperware containers, boom, take them out. George Foreman grill, I throw on chicken breasts. I take 2 to work, 2 or 3 to work, and another patty, another beef patty. I take another cup of rice to work, I put it in a Tupperware container. I microwave it here, cook that all there. I get my asparagus, and I either take it to work and use the microwave. The asparagus that I get, you don't even need any water. Actually, I used to use water, now I don't. And actually, when you use water, it takes the vitamins and minerals out of it. So I just put it right in the microwave in a bowl like this. I break them, take it to work, and I work for another 5 hours. I have my 2 meals at work. It's pretty simple. Again, I'll use hot sauce. I'll use a fat-free butter spray on my asparagus. So at this point in the day, I've had my, let's see, I've had 100 carbs for breakfast, then 100 carbs again at work, then 100 carbs before I went to the gym. Now when I get out of the gym, I have another 100 carbs with the Vitargo and the rice. It's 400. Now at work, I have another cup of rice. That's 500 carbs. Sometimes I'll have a half a cup of rice at work, or maybe if I don't have time to eat the rice before I go to work, I won't, and I'll do it at work. It just depends how your day's going. Then when I usually come home after work, I will have another serving of chicken again, and then I'll have a lot of times I'll use red potatoes also, red potatoes or yams. The yams, and that's like 50 carbs for 1 medium-sized yam. 2 red potatoes is 50 carbs, and that's pretty much what I eat all day. As you can see here, there's some natural peanut butter here. Sometimes instead of having almonds, I'll have this. And as far as the vegetables, I mean, I don't really have time to get fresh broccoli and fresh asparagus. So a lot of times what I'll do is I buy frozen. There's other ways to do it. You can get canned. You can get canned asparagus, which is very simple to also do, but it's a little bit mushy. And the other thing I will do is I do, after I work out, if I'm in a rush, I have a great meal here. It's called Abulous Meals. It's pretty new. I think it's only been around for a year, but the meals are amazing taste. I mean, it's probably the best frozen food I've ever had, and it's geared for bodybuilders. These are the 3 that I have left. There's tilapia, shiitake mushroom omelet, super lean chili. I mean, they're all geared for fitness and bodybuilding. They're natural. There's a lot of high protein. I mean, these, for example, here they're garlic basil chicken. There's 45 grams of protein. Zesty orange chicken has 47. Super lean chili has 40. Carbohydrates all around 50 or 40, which is exactly what I'm looking for. The gourmet chicken burger has a little bit less carbohydrates. Pretty much really low on sugars, and fat is extremely low. It's basically a prepared fitness meal that you can just throw right in the microwave or you can take with you to work. So this is a great thing to do. If I'm also rushing to go to work, I'll take these with me to work. And you can get these online at abulousmeals.com. They're actually, or you can even called Top Physique in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is near here. So pretty much that's what I do. I will take a multivitamin also during the day when I can remember to take it. And I think that's about it as far as my dieting. This is more like a pre-contest lean diet. I did have my carbs down at 300 to 350, and I was starting to lose muscle, and I was starting to get too flat. So now they're up to 5, and I filled out a little bit, and I'll test it for a little while and see how I look. It's only been about 2 weeks since I've upped them to 500. If I continue to stay lean and get leaner, I will actually up them more. Now, my metabolism is very fast. I mean, some of my friends cannot do that. They have to actually only eat 300 carbs. Actually, if they want to lose fat, gotta go down to 200. So for me, it's okay. Now, in the off season, a lot of times I eat whatever I want. This year, what I plan to do is I plan to actually maybe increase my clean carbs, the carbs that I've been showing you, maybe to 700, 800, and then see how that goes. And I think what will happen is, of course, I won't be as lean. I might get a little bit more body fat, but it won't be nearly as much as eating pizzas and Chinese and all that other stuff. And I think it'll make competing next year a lot easier for me. And it might not even gain that much fat. It just might be more water from the extra carbs. So that's what I'm planning to do this year, because I'm about 200. I'm down about 230 right now. When we started this video, I was, I think, in the 240s, but I've actually lost some more weight. So that's basically it. I do have a cheat meal on Saturday and Sunday, one cheat meal. I've been testing that. I'll go to, like, let's say Outback or Carrabba's or anywhere, Friendly's, and I'll have ice cream and I'll have whatever I want. And what I've noticed is I'm still getting leaner every week. I'm actually as lean as I was when I was doing the exact same thing but not cheating. So it makes you wonder, maybe we just overdo it. Now, I don't recommend that for everybody. If you already have too much body fat, maybe you shouldn't do that. But of course, in the beginning, I wasn't sure if that was going to work, because I started with weighing 265, and I thought, well, I'm still overweight. But that's because there was, no matter how much I would have dieted, when you have that much fat stored in the winter, it's going to take a long time to get rid of it. Even if you go on 0 carbs for a month, you got to get rid of that body fat. So it was working. It just took time to see. Now, if I'm getting ready for a show, I might cut out the one cheat meal, but I think I will continue to keep cheating. I think at least even till 4 weeks out, and see how I look, because it's not affecting me at all. But again, that's my body, and that's, you know, me of training. That's been me training and doing shows now for 5 years. I have the confidence to go with my body. 5 years ago, you would have asked me to cheat. There's no way I would have ate clean for 16 weeks. But what was happening is I was walking around the gym 230, looking like I was ready to go into a show, and showing up 198, and wondering, how did I lose 35 pounds in 4 weeks when I already had striations at 230? So sometimes you just gotta, like, do what I'm doing. Take a year off, not compete, and try to experiment with your body. Put your body in an environment where you're doing some cardio, you're doing some carb shifting, but maybe not exactly what you normally do, because you're not pressured to go crazy and diet too hard and carb deplete too much and do too much cardio. And even if you're not a bodybuilder and you're watching this video, this diet will work for you. If you're overweight and you're saying I need to get abs, you can eat just like I do. Have at least 1 to 1.5 grams of protein, which is about probably, if you weigh, let's say you weigh 230 like me, that would be about 300 grams of protein a day. And as far as your carbs, I would use as a starting point like 300 carbs. So I would maybe do 50 carbs for 6 meals. Do that for a couple of weeks, see how you look. And then if you're leaning out, just keep doing that. If you start getting too thin, then you can up your carbs or up your good fats, because you're not really getting any bad fats on this diet. And if you want to start out with 1 cheat meal a week, that's fine. You need something to, like, keep you motivated. And that 1 cheat meal does. And also, I think your body just throws that food right out. It's not used to eating that, and it just removes it. I think if you ate it every day, then your body will start to gain fat. But that 1 meal, if anything, it'll speed up your metabolism. So that's pretty much how I eat. I hope that helps you out. Now we're going to sit down and just answer some questions and about bodybuilding, about me, and that's about it.